Well, good evening, Chameleon Academy. How are you doing out there? Let's see. Let's get make sure we're looking good on Instagram. And whoo, what a day! Because I don't know. Of course, you and you know what? I got to make sure that everybody can hear me. Let me know if my audio's good. Got to make sure the audio's good. But it has been rainy here. It has been cold. What the heck? This is Southern California. I'm wearing arm warmers. Actually, these are very, very cute arm warmers. These, Yvette, my wife, makes these. If you're interested in arm warmers, hey, you know what? I ought to put a link down here. And you know what her company is called? Playful Chameleon on Etsy. Oh, so cute. I'm going to put that in that link in the comments if anybody wants very cool arm warmers, hand warmers, arm warmers. You can find them in the link in the are on Etsy, and look for the store Playful Chameleon. You find good stuff. All right, all good. Thank you very much for letting me know that my audio is coming in. Alex, thank you very much for that heads up on the interesting chameleons coming in. Let's see. It must have been cold. The temperatures have dropped in Spain too. Yes, Matthew. Look, I'm wearing my Chameleon Academy hoodie. I love this hoodie. And arm warmers that my wife made. So, yeah, we're doing good. Let's see. Yeah, so there was some Johnson's chameleons that came in to Underground Reptiles. It'll be interesting to see what kind of quality, how well they came in, and how healthy they are. Be interesting to see. Steve Hefner's at work, but stopping by to say hello. Thank you for stopping by, Steve. Very good to see you. Ben, hello. Haven't seen you for a little while, although I can only tell only if you post. These people may be here every single time. I just don't know if they don't post. So, now, 82 degrees. What the heck? Marsha Ann's got 82 degrees. Amazing. All right, James Cross isn't here. So we're not releasing the fog until James Cross gets here. Somebody sent him some chocolate milk or something. Hey, pretty weird. Hey, pretty people. That's us. That's us. So, well, it's been last night. Did not get much sleep at all. And so today has been a day that I have struggled through. And that is why, but see, that's the problem. I can't have coffee. If I have coffee now, it's going to totally ruin my sleep. And then I'll have another day of no sleep. So what I'm doing is I got my shot glass of coffee. That'll get me going. Hey, Flick. Wow, Flick is doing the 1 a.m. shift again over in Northern Ireland. All right. So, all right. Well, hello, Roman. Anyway, first the announcement. There's going to be no video tomorrow morning. There is going to be probably no content for no videos or podcasts for another couple of weeks. We will have the live session, but I am working so hard on that podcast app. There are some features that it needs to have, and I want to have it before the marathon, the live marathon, December 6th, from I think I'm going to do it 8 to 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific time is going to be our 6-hour season finale live marathon. And I'm going to start talking about it a bit more. But I want this app to be available for that session. And it's got to have all the features that I want with it. I've had some people give me some feedback. And if you for anybody who has an iPhone, you can go to the App Store, look for the Chameleon Academy app, and you're going to be able to download it. Right now, it plays all the podcasts. So it's a really good podcast player for the Chameleon Academy content. In 3 weeks, it should be a whole lot more. And I am excited about that. I'm working on it. So I'm putting all of my attention towards that. And it should be worth it. It should be worth it. I've got a vision. I've got a dream. I think I can do great things. And so just hang on and just be with me with the ride. It'll be fun. See, Matthew says, Bill, I'm going to Thailand in August. Are there any chameleons in Thailand that I should be aware of? No, there are no chameleons in Thailand. There are chameleons in India, but that's, that's close when we look at it on Google Maps. But when you're actually walking out your hotel, it's kind of a trek. But the India is the farthest east that chameleons go. But you find a lot of cool stuff. Thailand's got a lot of real cool stuff, just not chameleons. Oh, all right. Now, Alex actually got them tomorrow. Oh, how many did you get? Them. So you got at least a pair. Please, Alex, I really want to know. Why are we hating on Samsung people? I love Samsung people. The thing is, the Android, I'm working very hard. I have an iPhone, and so I'm working very hard on the phone that I have. As soon as I am done with the app on the iPhone, I am going to straight go to getting it on the Android platform. That will, I'm specifically using a software approach that makes it easy to port over, but I've never done anything for the Android phone, so it's going to be a new experience for a lot of this is a new experience for me, but the Android is going to be a new experience for me. That is, if I can pull it off, I will try to have it by the live show on Android. But the fact is, once I get the iPhone, the app done, I am doing the Android. So love the Android people, love the Samsung people. I just need to do things in order, and so that's it. But I look forward to be able to do it on Android as well. Just the pair. Okay. Just brought a new Samsung TV today. Ooh, hey. What language? Oh, Java, JavaScript and TypeScript. Good evening, sir. Oh, Javi. I owe you an email. Is an app ever done? No, it's not, but I will. There are a number of features that have to be in for me to consider it a good app to now coast a little bit, because there's a number of things that I want to do with this app, and I want to be able to do those things when I'm in Madagascar. So I'll give you a little hint of what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, and this is a very interesting thing that I've cobbled together, but we'll see. This may be an awesome experience if I can pull it all off by Madagascar. Anyway, to be determined. We're all along for the ride, all right? It's going to be fun. Oh, let's see. French Zilla bullies. I have someone that wants to give me a Manzanita branch, but it's still like a dark red purple color. Do I have to sand it down to be safe for the reptiles? I don't know about Manzanita being not safe. I don't like to use them because they're thick and they're very thin, so I don't like to use them. But I wasn't aware of them being toxic. But that doesn't mean it's not. I'm not aware of that, so I won't be able to answer that. Let's see. J Flex Adventure says, I have a panther chameleon that is almost 1.5 years old, but he is still very small. Is this normal or cause for concern? Nothing is normal. And what I say when it comes to sizes is sometimes they miss a growth spurt and they grow up smaller than the monsters that you see. And sometimes it's genetics, sometimes it's how they grew up. It's as long as the body itself looks active, alert. Their eyes are alert. Their body is, they can move around. They're pooping. They're shedding. That's good. I have panther chameleons that are, as adults, are half the size of some of my other panther chameleons. Why? I don't know. Is some closer to wild caught, different locales? Who knows? They're all healthy. They're doing great. They're all living. So I say, don't worry about it. Just make sure that they're eating, drinking, pooping, shedding, and their eyes are alert, and they're good. Alicia has a chameleon question. Yay! I'm having to ask Molly if she has a Samsung phone. Yeah, everybody. I'm looking for a Samsung and Android that is as late model as possible, so I can debug this app. So if anybody has any extras, just let me know if there is an Android that is sitting in your desk drawer, just looking for a purpose in life. Hey, Ben just downloaded the app. Yes, and Ben, give me some feedback, okay? Give me some feedback, and especially right now at the basic form of it, it's just a podcast player, it's an awesome podcast player, but give me some feedback. Use it in normal, everyday usage, and let me know. Was it fun to use? Was it easy to use? Are there some pain points or saying, well, this was a little bit difficult? Let me know, and I will put it all together. I am in charge of this app. I am coding it. And so that gives me a lot of freedom to do whatever I want with it. Now, it also means I spend every waking hour working on it. But hey, that's life, right? That's the way we do it. Okay, Alicia's got a chameleon question because that's officially what we are here for. Is it normal for veils to hang out in the same spot more often than not? He comes down, lets me know he wants to eat, then goes back up. Can you be too planty? You mean too many plants? Alicia, when they get comfortable, they'll have a favorite branch that they'll hang out. And so that's completely normal. I am not the problem with staying in one place is only if they start hunkering down and their eyes start closing. Then it's not because it's their favorite branch, it's because something's wrong. So as long as his eyes are alert, and if he comes down and eats and goes back up to his branch, 2 thumbs up. He's doing great. Matthew made the jump to YouTube. Yes, you're going to have YouTube's a little bit easier to work with, and you have a whole lot more community, and it's a better experience. Love my Instagram people. Instagram has been a little bit, not your fault. It's Adam Osiri, you listening? Yeah. Liza Ann says, my veiled hides and hunkers down and she explores. Let me get my head above. There we go. So I think so. As long as the eyes are open and alert, it's eating, pooping, it should be good. Yep. I absolutely agree. Arlene's asking, how about cherry blossom twigs? Are they safe? Even been cut off from the ground? I don't know anything about cherry blossom twigs. Generally speaking, it's going to be really hard to find branches that are not safe. If they've got chameleons even live in thorn bushes, and they like living in thorn bushes because it protects them, and so they're able to navigate the thorns. Now, I don't recommend thorn bushes or big thorns in a chameleon cage because, you got to put your hand in there, and as they don't need that defense. It's a danger. And that's the reason why they like being in the thorns is because it's a danger to anybody trying to get at them. But they don't have that danger in captivity. So I say I don't put thorns in my cage. I'm just saying a healthy chameleon is pretty spry and can navigate pretty well. Now, if we're talking about poisonous, I especially when it's dried out, I don't know that it can be poisonous. I don't like the pine because of the sap, because if it gets on their feet. So that's another reason why I don't use branches. But cherry blossom twigs, I don't know anything. I haven't heard anything dangerous about cherry blossom twigs. So are there any sharp edges that you would rather them not risk being around? They can navigate them, but the more things in their relatively small cage that they have to navigate around, why are we doing that? So I'd say no thorns, sharp edges, no sap. And other than that, I also don't like branches that are too smooth. I just don't like it, but they still crawl on them. I don't like bamboo. I don't like manzanita. James Cross loves manzanita, but he's not here, so I can do whatever I want to. And so, yeah, there isn't a whole lot that won't work. My favorite tree, if you've got a choice, my favorite is sycamore. Love sycamore. It's a strong branch, and it goes off in different angles. It's got character. Joe Dragon, can we talk about slugs in bioactive? Problem or let roll? Environment seems great. Otherwise, plants doing great. Drainage look good. Cleanup crew seems good. Joe, I don't like slugs because of what they do with plants. So what I do, if I have slugs in my bioactive, I pick them out, but I don't try to eradicate them. I don't use poisons or traps or things like that. So it's not a panic situation, but I do like, if I've got slugs, I like to go in at night and start picking them off because I don't want a slug infestation in my bioactive. That's my personal approach. Where is James? That's a very good question, Javi. Very good question. You have asked a question that's on all of our minds. This is suspicious. James does not miss these shows. But then again, it is cold, it is rainy, and maybe the guy's just taken a well-earned nap. So we will, James, if you're seeing this later, we support your well-earned nap. Hey, Nancy, hello. Anna Dave here's here. Hello, Annabelle. Welcome. Says, yeah, that's what I've been doing, picking off the slugs. Yeah, tonight I need to go off. There's some spider webs inside of one of my bioactives, so some spiders got in, and now I've got to go in at night and try to figure out where they are, pick them off. There are 2 pairs of Johnsons left. Okay, and if from the pictures, it looks like they're Ruanzori, which is interesting. Yes. Did message James with no express response. Must be napping. James needs more espresso. This is absolutely correct. And yeah, got spiders in mind too. Yeah, they just have a way of getting in. Think, how do they get in? Well, they get in as babies, and then they just say, wow, this is a great place. So yeah, James needs more espresso. I am under the same California conditions, although his are like 10 degrees colder. And so I needed a coffee. So I understand if he's taking a nap. So he's been working for a slave, right? Yeah, he's been working really hard. So we miss him, but we understand his situation. All right, I've got enough to last me through the show. And actually, I have a little bit more coding to do tonight, just for the fun of it, just to close it off. But I got a lot done today, and tomorrow is going to be a real intense day. But I'm hoping to get it to beta testers this weekend. If I can do that, then it can work. Look for the timeline. Can feeder crickets eat mangoes? Les Liam, sure. I do stuff like that. I like to throw in, through my dubias and my crickets, I just throw in random things and they eat it or they don't. What I like is to give them a wide variety of things. I get my core cricket chow. I get these from this really good cricket chow from Reddy's Reptiles, and so I feeder fuel, and so I use that as the core, and then just throw in interesting fruits and vegetables. And they eat what they eat. And if they don't eat it, they don't eat it. Oh, let's see. It's almost freezing here. Yep. Well, you are in Europia. And so you're going to be getting some pretty intense weather. Oh, yes. Liza brings up a very good question. When you start using stuff like mango or papaya or things like that, it goes bad pretty quickly. Got to really, really keep on top of that. Probably building a cage. Yeah, that would be like James. That would be like James. Javi says, Bill, in my full acrylic enclosure, do you recommend a 3-inch fan on top of it to pull air up and out? I recommend that you have one and you evaluate the situation once you have it all set up, and you turn it on and keep it on for lengths of time that are appropriate for whatever's going on outside. Because the acrylic, the whole idea of the acrylic is that it holds in heat and humidity. How much heat and humidity needs to be held in depends upon what they need, the chameleon needs, versus what the ambient conditions are. And so everybody is going to, if everybody had the exact same setup, they would have to run the fan at different times, depending upon whether they're in the Pacific Northwest, Florida, Southern California, Arizona, New York. So just keep it, yes, get your fan up there and just keep an eye on it and adjust it for whatever you need. And it'll change throughout the seasons. So it's a dynamic situation. Let's see. Hoping everybody's having a blessed night. Here watching the live with my daughter, Rosie. Hello, Rosie. Welcome. Everybody say hello to Rosie. Is that locale uncommon? Oh, Alex is talking about the locales of Johnstonai. You have a number of locales. The most common are the Ruwenzori and the Buwindi. The Ruwenzori is the ones that have lots of red in them. The Buwindi is the ones that have more blue. Buwindis are the ones that are hanging out with the mountain gorillas. Ruwenzoris are a little bit north of there. And they are of equal rarity. It's hard to find Johnstonai to come in. They're the only place that they're legal to come in is from the Congo. And the Congo just doesn't have a good enough infrastructure. The mountain is at least a 24, 36 hour drive. And that would be on good roads. And so the people need to know how to catch them, the chameleons. They need to know how to transport them and pack them. And Congo just doesn't have a very good structure for doing that yet. They don't have the skills yet. So the ones that come in tend to be very ragged, and people don't, and the chameleons aren't that, they don't bring in a whole lot of money. So, the motivation for learning how to do it right is low. So both of them are of equal, I'd say equal beauty and equal rarity. Hi, Rosie. Love your name. It's a very cool name. Javi says, yeah, I'm here in New York City. I'm battling with humidity. Yep. Yeah, Ben saying that's what I do. I have to have it go off a couple times a day for 5 minutes. That's right. Oh, Rosie, you got a hello from Northern Ireland. Ooh, there. That's it. Put that, collect that. We need to have pins. I need to make pins for everybody. We need to have a map where we are all from. I'm excited for Madagascar 2027. I've got a pretty good group coming for 2027. Leslie, are there any recommended chameleon documentaries on streaming services or YouTube? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like nature shows? I actually don't know of nature shows that have chameleons. I know that there are some out there. I just don't watch them. Anybody else know of any chameleon documentaries that you can point Les Liam in the direction of? Let's help. I'll need the community support on this one. Oh, Rosie, you got a hello from Spain. Ooh, you're collecting all over the world. Hellos from all over the world. Okay, Eliza Ann says the Namaquensis was noted in a documentary on Apple TV. You have Apple TV, Les Liam? All right, she's got some good stuff. I'm ready for Madagascar 2057 when they finally find a cure. Oh, yeah. Well, it depends on. I will say, when I'm there, I don't know the whole list of food allergies, but all I eat when I am there is essentially zebu, which is kind of like a steak, zebu and coffee and water, and sometimes some French fries if they have them. That's essentially what I eat there. So there is not. I take a lot of stuff with me. I make it a point. I do not eat anything that does not come to is not served in front of me too hot to touch. So anything that is not steaming hot, I don't eat. So I bring a lot of power bars with me, and I eat a lot of zebu and drink coffee. Water is bottled, so I can do that, and water and soda. Now there are a couple of restaurants that are reputable and say, okay, I can trust the spaghetti here. So there's a couple of places like that. Thanks for the Tiny Dragons, Bill. I have 11 Tiny Honelli now. Oh, very cool. Tiny Dragons is the book that I wrote that's available on Amazon. Tiny Dragons, the art of hatchling chameleon care. That's it. Sakshamungro's here. He's back. 7-month-old Nosy Bay has become picky. Oh, no. Hope he is not sick. He's also eaten less before. Well, as they get older, they'll eat a little bit less. And as they get spoiled, they'll get picky. So that in itself is not a warning. But, as always, whenever there's a change of behavior, you always look for other signs like the eyes closing in or lethargy, such. Let's see. Okay, so we got people listing off chameleon documentaries in the chat. There we go. Annabelle says, unless you have a zebu allergy, you're good. Yeah. Yeah. Zebu and power bars will get you through Madagascar. As long as they have Coke Zero and Doritos, I can survive. Javi, I am sorry to say there is no Coke Zero or Doritos. Actually, Coke just started up back there. You wouldn't believe the kind of drama that you just tapped into there. Coca-Cola went to Madagascar and started serving Coca-Cola, but then a local company stole the formula and started making World Cola. And so Coke said, we're out of here. And it was like that for many years. And yes, we all got we all got used to World Cola. Now Coke is back. The last time in 2025, this January, I saw some Coke products. So you may be able to get Coke Zero. I will investigate in January. Doritos, good luck. Good luck. You may have to bring Doritos with you. Like I said, I bring a lot of food with me, although half is for me and half is for dog treats. Geraldine and Tony, you are going to find that I will be bringing lots of dog treats because I love dogs everywhere. And in Madagascar, there's a lot of good boys. So I need to let them know that they are loved. World Cola, yeah. Oh, Matthew says, it is a must. You must all buy Tiny Dragons. When it arrived in Spain, I was over the moon, and I have learned loads from it. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yes, everybody, that book, it's a good book. I put everything into it. It's about how to take care of baby chameleons from like 0 to 3 months old. And it goes into incubation of eggs. But that's the one part of the chameleon life cycle that we really don't have a whole lot of information out there. And for good reason. Usually it's only the breeders that have to deal with it, and the poor people who have female Jackson's chameleons and are surprised by babies, which those people are a very special people to me. And I have been supporting those people for years and years. It was the second episode 10 years ago where I said how to take care of surprise babies. So Jackson's chameleon people. Anyway, this book is for those people. But it has all of chameleon husbandry in it. And so you can go, even though it's through the lens of baby chameleons, the principles and the explanations are the same as for adults. So, Bill, can you recommend a brand for an infrared heat thermometer that gives accurate readings? Vero, I don't know of any. I'm not up on various brands and such, and I didn't realize that there's inaccurate infrared thermometers out there. So I'm afraid I don't have an answer for you on that one. Oh, all right. We have a question about vines. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Just pack a bag of Doritos. You are set. Yeah, Javi, just get one of those huge bags of Doritos and bring them. And bring it and share. Oh, James brought a whole big bucket of red vines, the licorice, and was passing it around the bus. I'm already packing my bags. Well, if you want, we can fit you in January. You want to join Geraldine and Tony and me? The duration of the Madagascar trip is 14 days. It's a 2-week trip. Javi, I make my Madagascar trips on the U.S. vacation of generally 2 weeks vacation. So we're going from the 14th to, well, you have to leave on the 13th if you're in the United States, 13th through the 29th. That's when we're going. Coke Zero and Doritos. All right, Arlene's on board with that. All right, Coke Zero and Doritos. Oh. Coke and Doritos sounds me. Okay, now we've started something. Now something has started. We now have an official Chameleon Academy snack. Annabelle says my go-to in Madagascar was goldfish and gummy bears. Need to put my dates in for Madagascar 2027 trip. Everybody, and seriously, everybody, for 2027, we're going to be starting to talk about it in February. So that's when we'll start signing up. So if you're seriously thinking about 2027, the time to make a decision is relatively soon. Bill, when was your first trip to Madagascar and how did this change your husbandry? First trip was in 2023. How did it change my husbandry? It gave me perspective and got me thinking about a lot about humidity and fogging and such, and how to do it better. So anyway, I've been having a lot of conversations with people about how to do that better. Chameleon on Wheels says, Tiny Dragons is an excellent book. Thank you. Tutorial Tom says, hello. What did I miss? Wow. I mean, we decided that the official Chameleon Academy snack is a Coke product and Doritos. That's what you missed. And now we've decided it, and I can't imagine that anybody would argue. It's my go-to meal for everything. We got some serious devotees. Hey, Wayne Beanies! Smash the like, you all. Thank you very much, Wayne Beanies. Yes, everybody smash the like. Oh, look who shows up. Oh my goodness. James shows up. Well, you know what? We actually have fog for James. There we go. Whew. There we go. All right, Wispy Wim wants to let him explore more because he climbs to the side so much and hovers at the door a lot. You know, a safe way to let chameleons explore. Wispy Wim, it would be better to give him a larger cage or figure out why he wants to get out of his cage. There are reasons. You may have the perfect cage and he may just decide he wants to take a look at the other side of the house because there's something there he thinks he wants to explore. But chameleons don't generally, when they're very happy, generally speaking, they are very happy to stay in their cage. There are certain times of the year that males will say, hey, I want to go see if I can find a female. And so they'll get very antsy. But generally speaking, there's the whole thing about chameleons coming out of their cage is a dicey topic because we don't know why. Chameleons, generally speaking, aren't motivated to explore unless they're looking for something. So it's not like animals that normally, parole their territory. So it doesn't mean if your chameleon, generally speaking, if your chameleon is trying to get out of his cage for whatever reason, our initial response is, okay, what is wrong? What's going on inside the cage? What can we change in the cage to make them happy? Is it more plant cover? Is it heat, UVB, whatever? Maybe it's too much UVB. All of these things we want to look at first because that's the majority of the cases of the chameleons wanting to get out. There's a small percentage of chameleons that just decide they want to go out. And the problem is that you don't want to misinterpret them. Oh, he wants to be on me. Chameleons don't think that way. We think that way. We would love for chameleons to think that way. They don't think that way. And there's always a caveat. There's always an asterisk. I have had a chameleon just decide it wants to walk on me, has absolutely no fear. And it's a famous story. I was sitting there practicing. I wanted to tell people, don't expect your chameleon to come out of the cage. And the guy walks on my shoulder while I'm filming. Okay. So there's always an exception. And so you may have that exception. But what you want to do as a responsible keeper is make sure that you're not just projecting that you want this chameleon to be friendly. You want this chameleon to be an explorer and all of that. You got to say, okay, let me be a detective and see if it's any of these other things, because the chameleon is going to act the same way no matter what. And so it's up to us to try to interpret what they are doing. So for me as an educator in chameleon care, if you come to me and you say, my chameleon wants to get out of my cage, the responsible thing for me to do is to run through all of those things that you need to check with husbandry. Because if I say, oh, your chameleon just loves being out with you, then I have a whole lot of people out there where they have horrible cages saying, oh, my chameleon just wants to be out with me because Bill said so. So I just want to give that context behind the answer that I have to give. And I would just say that I don't know. Just do your chameleon just respect your chameleon for what it is, and just play detective and try to figure out why they are wanting to get out. And like I said, your cage could be perfect, and he just sees that there's like a tree out the window and just wants to explore it. Your cage could be perfect, and he decides, hey, I want to find a babe, and wants to go out. Your cage may be perfect, except it's under an air conditioning vent that goes on when you're not at home. And so you don't know what goes on. So these are all the kind of the thought things that we got to go through, even if the cage is perfect. It's the wonderful thing about chameleons and our responsibility as keepers. So that's a real long way of answering that question, which I hope was comprehensive and explained it. All right, so let's see. I got to catch up here. Okay, James, we all decided that you were taking a nap. You went out. How beneficial is bee pollen for chameleons? I don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. There's never been any side-by-side test. I've used bee pollen since the 90s, but I haven't noticed any difference between the ones I use bee pollen and the ones I don't. It's like we don't know anything about nutrition. We try, but and this is one of the things, we're doing the best we can. I know there's a lot of out in the world. There's a lot of people who are very sure of themselves. I'm not going to say what anybody else knows. I'm just going to say I haven't seen any difference. I try to give my chameleons the most nutrition possible. I don't have evidence that I can bring to you to say, yes, this is the difference when I use bee pollen. This is the difference when I don't. So I use it. It sounds like a good idea. It makes sense. And I'll leave it at that. Must be Wim says it makes sense. I wouldn't assume he wants to be on me. I feel like he might need something bigger or something else. Thank you, Bill. And Must be Wim, all you got to do is try different things. That's all you can do. And after you go through everything, it may be that he just feels like he wants to walk on you. And okay, well then accept that he wants to walk in you. Just make sure you go through all the other things before you get to that, because that would be rare for a chameleon, but that's not unheard of for a chameleon. So we'll just muddy the waters a little bit more and send you on your way. Oh. Bill, bee pollen should be added to your feeders or to the chameleon directly. Once again, I have sprinkled it on my feeders. That's how I normally do it. I mix bee pollen and calcium together and I mash it all up, or else I use Earth Pro A, which has bee pollen inside of it. I figure, well, if they're eating things that have bee pollen, the bee pollen's on top of the feeders, and so that's the reason. But once again, I'm going to tell you what I do with the best of information that I have, and I will also say I have no evidence of one method being better than the other. Oh. Arlene is saying, Trico is starting to do that, wants to explore now outside of his cage. All right, so everybody's chameleon is now getting antsy. And that's what happens with me as well. I'll have all of a sudden a chameleon just decide it's not happy. Like Jackson's. Oh my goodness. My Jackson's was in a 4 foot by 4 foot by 7 foot tall outdoor enclosure, heavily planted. Can't get better than that. And he saw a female in a cage across the yard, and there was no cage big enough for that man. For 2 weeks, he was crawling on the side of a cage, and he was not happy at all. He had the best cage. Only the Parsons had a better cage than he did, and he would just not calm down. Tell you. Been listening, going to eat. Hugs everyone. Bye, Janet. Thanks for dropping by. James says, wait, I can't cuddle with my chameleon. Now, James. Let's not go that far. You know what? The bond between a man and his chameleon, I don't want to get in between that. Wispy Wim says, is there a schedule I should be following for how much bee pollen and calcium without D3 he gets throughout the month? I dust crickets, dubia, and superworms with plain calcium mixed with bee pollen. I just do it every feeding. And so that's what I've done. And it's worked in the way that my chameleons live long time. But I'll just say that's the way I do it. And really, everybody, I'm hedging here because it is so easy for those of us who have done things for years upon years upon years to decide that that's the way to do it because my chameleon is alive and my chameleon is healthy. Therefore, this is the way to do it. If we are being honest or authentic, genuine, I don't know. If we are being introspective, I don't know what the word is. We do a lot of things that we do not know if they're necessary, if they're the best. They've just worked. And so we keep doing what works. And the problem is that things that we do just because they work kind of metastasize into this is the way you need to do it. Like, who decided that calcium every feeding? Who decided Repashy Calcium Plus every 2 weeks? Yeah. Can it be every week? Every 4 weeks? Nobody knows. It's just, we just do things. Nutrition is so much, we know so little about nutrition. There's just things that we have decided that because we've done it so long and it has worked, that's the way to do it. Especially our supplementation. You should look at all of these things that are in the care guides and the things that I am saying as this is what we know works. And that's the best we have at this time. I will tell you right now, if you give Repashy Calcium Plus low D every week instead of every 2 weeks, your chameleon's going to be just fine. I mean, some of these breeders are feeding their panthers every feeding Repashy Calcium Plus, not low D, Calcium Plus. So they're getting a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of these fat soluble vitamin D3 and vitamin A and all these other wonderful things. And their chameleons are doing just fine. Their panther chameleons are doing just fine. Jackson's chameleons will most likely get edema. And we know that because we just try it and it happens all the time. So that's just the community knowledge. That's our tribal knowledge that we've gained and we present. And for all of you who are new to this, you've got to start with the tribal knowledge. You've got to start with the things that we know works. But once you get that under your belt, once you start feeling confident that your chameleon is doing good, I want you to look at all the stuff that we quotes know as a foundation. Respect it. We've paid a heavy price and put a lot of work into getting this foundation for you. So respect that foundation, but don't use it as the end all be all. Use it to stand on and experiment and try. So just know this whole thing is a journey. It's a progression. You're not coming to something that's already baked and written in stone. But saying that every time when somebody asks how to take care of my chameleon doesn't go over very well. So I will say what we have found works, and I will say it confidently because it does work. But I will not say that it is the end all and be all of everything. All right, I got to catch up on the chat. I've been pontificating. Let me try to get real quick. Our local sports talk radio guy takes bee pollen every day and he's never felt better. Must be. Wow. Okay. Well, if the sports guy takes it. Annabelle likes her bee pollen shaken, not stirred. In the wild, do they pick one tree and just stay there? No, they don't. There are some chameleons that are more active than others, like Ustaletai. They'll be all over the place. They'll be walking across the road. They'll be all over the place. They are not a chameleon that stays still. Pardalis, panthers, they are pretty active as well. They will go from tree to tree to tree to tree. Parsons chameleons, they will move along, but they don't move as much. They like to stay still a little bit more. So it really depends on the type of chameleon. Now, we also have to try to parse out of that how much of them moving around is something that is programmed into their DNA, and how much of it is because finding food is programmed into their DNA. The difference is that if they are just programmed to go round and round and round because evolutionarily it helps them spread their genetics and all that kind of stuff, okay, then they've got an inner desire to move, and we need to provide for that because we can't just reprogram them. If they are moving because they need to find food, and if it's not where they are, then they've got to move, then they're not wanting to move. They have to move for food. The reason why this is a significant thing for them is because chameleons don't have any defenses. Yeah, they've got a mouth, but that doesn't do anything. Okay, yeah, it can hurt. But the thing is, a chameleon's main defense of safety is staying still and not being seen. Going along the ground, moving in the trees, that's motion. You're going to be seen. There is a price to pay for being seen. There's a price to pay for moving. And so a chameleon is not going to move unless there's a very good reason for them to move. That's just nature. And the question is, what are those good reasons? Is it to mate? Yeah. Okay. Evolutionarily, you got to do that. Is it to find food? Whatever. So our job as a keeper is, when we come into captivity, how much of the need for moving have we removed? You get food every other day. You are nice. You are safe. So you don't have to worry about predators. You are fed when water comes to you. So we have taken away all of the, quotes, needs for you to move. Does that mean that they stay still because they don't need to move? Most of the times, yes. Most of the times, yes. And that is why when somebody says, hey, my chameleon is pawing at wants to get out of their cage, we immediately say, oh, wait a minute. Okay, why is that? That's because of the nature of what a chameleon is. They want their defense to be safe is to stay still and not move around. So that's why we say that. If it was like what are these dracos or whatever, these other lizards where they spend their entire day going round and round and round and round. Okay, that's a different creature. They are going to have different standards. And if they want to run around their cage, we're going to say, okay, that's natural for them. So we are students of the chameleon. We are students of their mannerisms, their characteristics, their personality, what they are, what they do. And a lot of that it's not obvious. We have to study, we have to think about it, we have to experiment. So, in the wild, they don't have a choice. So it's really hard to tell what behaviors are because that is programmed into them and what behaviors are survival. So, that's part of what we do. That is why I have had a podcast for 10 years now, and I'm excitedly going into season 11. And you guys, I am going to do an experiment That's one reason why you don't have episodes, is because I'm working on an experiment for something new as far as our podcast experience. So hang tight. I'm working hard, and I hope to unveil it in our live session. So just stick with me for, these next weeks are, you're not seeing podcasts or videos, and it's not because I'm just lazing around, although I'm supposed to be taking a vacation somewhere along the way. But it's because I'm working very hard on a new experience that I'm very excited to try. We'll see. I do a lot of experimenting, so that's what makes this fun. Javi says, Bill, if you had to guesstimate the overall cost of Madagascar, it depends on what plane tickets are. So going there for the trip and the tour, it's like room and board and the tour and everything once you're there. Okay, there's like souvenirs and stuff, which are pretty cheap, but $3,600 is for the time in Madagascar, and the plane ticket to get there is between $1,200 and $1,500, depending upon the time. This year was a lot cheaper than when I went before, so it goes up and down. So that's the you're looking at what is that? So for about five, add another couple hundred, $5,500 will probably somewhere around there for the whole thing. Five nutritioning, yeah. Jim says, let's see. Lisa says, how often do you use your No D multivitamin? I don't use a No D multivitamin. I only use plain calcium or calcium and bee pollen on every feeding, and then I use a Repatchi Calcium Plus Low D, which has D3 and A, the two fat soluble vitamins that focus on. I'm sure K has meaning, and we will find that out one of these days. But I don't use multivitamin without D3. I think Reptivite is the only one that offers that. I like to. There is an antagonistic relationship between vitamin D3 and vitamin A. We don't understand it. We don't even understand it in humans. But because of that, I like to always give D3 with A. And, I can't explain. Nobody can explain. No, we don't know. We don't know anything about nutrition in humans, much less chameleons. Mr. McDJ fan just got home from work, and one of my chameleons enclosures was open. She was still in there. Either I'm very lucky, or maybe she likes it in there. Maybe she left and came back. No, that is common. We chameleon keepers are lucky. Half the times that we absentmindedly leave our chameleon's door open, they're still in their cage. And then the other half of the time they've taken off, and they're now in the forest leading James on a complete wild goose chase. But the thing is, the larger the cage you have, the more likely they're not going to go anywhere. Now, why should they go anywhere? Now, I would never, ever, ever rely on that. You're lucky when you come home and they're still there. But with us chameleon people, it's not unheard of. Hey, Lisa, evening. It's evening for us. Isn't it like 1 a.m. for you in Northern Ireland? This is the hero, the hero episode for our Northern Irelanders. Let's see. Okay, James is being a rebel. Let's see what he's up to. I get my feeling females, calcium per egg laying, and once a month I might give them Earth Pro, but I prefer to give my feeders very nutritious foods to eat. I know I hate following rules. Yeah, James is going to rebel just because that's his nature, but he is giving an example. What he's saying, I'm not sure exactly what he's saying because he's probably using his text to or speech to text. but it sounds like he's not giving them uh, supplementation uh, okay, calcium once a month. So he's giving calcium once a month. Did I read that right, James? This is an example of number one, he feeds a lot of grasshoppers, diurnal. Those are a lot different than crickets as far as nutrition. And also, I can tell you right now, we give more supplementation than they need. Now, what am I gonna what am I going to tell you to take it down to? I don't know. That's why I'm keeping calcium every day as my advice, because I don't know how far down you can go before you start getting into a problem. And so I stay to what is safe. And until there's a problem with the amount of calcium that we're giving, I'm not going to look into it. There's all sorts of problems I'm looking into, like hydration and UVB and stuff like that. I got problems that I got to give attention to. I'm not going to put attention to something that's not causing a problem. So the supplementation will probably stay that way for a long time, even though I know we are giving too much, maybe not too much. We are giving more than we need to. So that's just the nature of this thing. We only get one lifetime. If I had like 50 lifetimes, I would put that on the list. So, ectothermic. What is the best way to get fog into a hatchling enclosure? PVC with holes drilled in it. I have 40 hatchling enclosures and currently 24 babies, panthers. The important thing is that it doesn't blow in like a draft. That's the hardest thing about fogging babies is the foggers come in and they come in really strong, and you got to make sure that's not a draft. What I will do is, I don't have it here. I do. Ah. I do this. Haven't been using it lately. So this is from. I've got to redo it for these baby cages back here. And so when the fogger comes into this, it naturally dissipates. So it's not the one fogger tube going into the cage, baby's cage, and just blasting that poor little baby, because your baby, that's a draft. It has nothing to do with the fog. It's a cold draft. And so that's going to kill the baby. So, if you do something like this where the fog comes in and then it just has to travel over here, it starts coming out at a gentle. Obviously, the more you put onto it, the more gentle it's going to be way at the end, and the stronger it's going to be here. So you've got to do kind of a balance. But that's one thing that I have used. So, Bill, what's your longest lived chameleon? Probably 12 years. I've got some chameleons that are still. Let's see, my little Daramensis, I had him come in as an adult and he lived for 12 years. Mike Parsons is just, I've had him for 7 years now. My multi-tuberculata was like 10, 11 years. I've had a Thamnobates be around 10 years. I've got some panthers. My veileds. My veileds are going on 9 years. I have a female panther going on, was it 6 years? Lots going on. Oh, James says calcium once a week is what he's doing, not just once a month. So, but I bet you could get away with once a month as well. But I'm not going to put that in a care guide because I don't know for sure. And then I got to make sure it's the same across all chameleon species. And so there's a lot that goes into changing the care guides. Yeah. All right. Let me try to get through oh my gosh, we are just way over. I'm going to try to get to the bottom of the chat here. Is community update day on for Saturday? Give me a little bit more details. Chameleon. Oh, are you talking about? Yes, we are going to have a live on Saturday, if that's what you're asking, Nate. So we will be having the Chameleon workshop on Saturday at 12 noon Pacific. Woo, 2 a.m. over in Northern Ireland. Yes, Ireland and Northern Ireland are two different countries. We know that now. See, you get a lot of education here at the Chameleon Academy. Tutorial Tom says, I just sent you a little feedback and screen captures. Yes, everybody. If you get the app, download the app, iPhone only. I'm sorry. I love my Android people. I am going to work on getting it on Android, but I'm coding it myself. So I'm working on it. But Netherlands is 3 a.m. So give me feedback. I want screenshots. I want feedback. I want let me know. This is very valuable for me. Thank you, Tutorial Tom. I will look at that as soon as I am out. Time for a haircut. I just got a haircut. The heck, man. Bill, can you see the split of what listening method your podcast gets as analytics between Apple Podcasts? Curious if you notice a popular one. I get downloads. I don't get listening. See, the difference is if you subscribe on Apple Podcast or Spotify, I can tell who has downloaded it to their device, but I cannot tell how long they've listened. Unless you're on Spotify, then they give me that analytic. The most popular one is Apple Podcasts, and then I believe it's Spotify. Spotify is moving up. Spotify has really aggressively gone after that, and Apple is not doing anything. They just happen to be big. They're not doing much to support it. So, yeah, they're the, but they're still the most popular. Sorry, Bill, you can't bank me. Oh, come on. What the heck? Wait, who put her in charge? Oh, come on. Ask the Chameleon updates are still on. Yes, everybody. Thank you very much, Nate. This Saturday is updates for Chameleon community chameleons. This Saturday, we are going to have a whole live show. We're going to be showing chameleons from the community. So if you want your chameleon featured, email it to me. Here's the caveat. Make sure the picture's in focus. Make sure it's a good picture that I will want to show. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but when I get an email of 5 blurry photos, and I'm not saying anybody here has sent those, they have in the past, it's like, come on. I'm not going to be showing this. Give me good photos. That's the only thing I ask everybody. Good photos. That's right. The app for Apple. Yes, the app, Chameleon Academy app is on the App Store, Apple App Store. And right now, it gives you access to all of the podcasts. In 3 weeks, it will give you more. I'm working on that more stuff. I use the app and Spotify. DOA Chameleon guys. Ooh. What's the name of the app? Chameleon Academy Podcast. That is the name of the app. I use the Overcast app. Apple just added automatic chapters to podcasts. Oh, I'm going to have to check that out. How are they going to do automatic chapters? That's a huge AI thing. And yes, I will be taking advantage of that to try to chapterize 350 podcast episodes. Oh. But you asked to send a yes. Bill at chameleonacademy.com. I did ask and I want them. Just make sure they're not blurry. Yes. Oh, okay. So everybody is, I'm behind. I'm catching up in the chat. Yeah. Right now, the app only works on Apple phones. Trying to get it out for Android. I am working really, really hard. So, yes, download it. It'll be. It's going to be a lot more fun. I'm serious about this. A lot more fun. Matthew's got it. Yay! I need my full hour of Chameleon goodness. When did you join? How late am I staying tonight? Needs to work on dark mode. It is on dark mode. Do you have this, Howard? Do you know what you are talking about? Go to the settings menu. There is a dark mode. I love dark mode. In fact, I want to do it. The next version is going to default to dark mode. Unless you've already got the app and you've set it to light mode. But anyway. All right, everybody. It is time to say goodbye to everybody. And I want to say thank you very much. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, sorry. I can't show you. Howard, I can't show you because I'm using my phone for Instagram. Anyway, I want to say goodbye, everybody. You know what? Hang on for a second. And I'll say goodbye to my Instagram people, and then I'm going to show you. All right, everybody. On Instagram, I will see you later next Tuesday. Oh, well, unfortunately, I've got the tested version, the updated version here, but see, there is dark mode. Yikes! I'm sorry, my app is loaded up with the new testing. You want to see? You want to see what it looks like? Ooh, yeah. There's going to be some fun stuff coming up. So I promise you. Anyway, everybody, have a good night, and I will. I will keep you informed as to how it's going on. I'm going to be a little bit of a hermit for a little while because I've been working so hard on this, and I've been getting so far, and I am so happy with it. It's like an obsession now. But it is going to be awesome, and it's going to be an obsession for everybody. So have a good night, and I will see you next time.